Hi, I'm Dawn Gagye, host of the Entrepreneurial Edge and founder of Tracer Strategic Marketing. Today, we're talking about something that every entrepreneur, athlete, and professional needs to hear: what it really takes to build wealth with confidence and purpose. My guest in this episode is Jessica McDonald, a certified financial planner and the founder of Southern Wealth Builders right here in Birmingham, Alabama. Jessica works with athletes, business owners, and veterans, helping them make smarter money decisions, reduce financial stress, and focus on what they do best, achieving their goals both in business, on the sports field, and in life. The most powerful thing Jessica said in our conversation was this: "I'll always look out for your best interest, even if it doesn't make me money. I'd rather be able to sleep at night and build a firm that lasts beyond myself." That's integrity. That's leadership. And honestly, that's what true financial confidence looks like. So whether you're a young athlete navigating your first NIL contract, a business owner building your next chapter, or someone who simply wants to feel more in control of your money, this episode is for you. You're listening to the Entrepreneurial Edge, where clarity meets confidence and strategy meets purpose. Let's dive in. Oh, and P.S., we're really sorry some of the quality of our audio on this recording wasn't so great. We're owning that. We hope you'll still tune in and listen best you can, and just know that what you'll find in this episode is worth the listen. So, hey everybody, I'm Dawn Gagye. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Edge podcast in our new format, which includes video and on-location work. We're doing it a little bit different. Because why not? So I have a background in marketing strategy for 25 years as a marketing strategist, and I run a company called Tracer Strategic Marketing as well. My guest today is super fabulous. Her name is Jessica McDonald.
Thank you, Dawn. I'm a certified financial planner, and I'm the founding advisor of Southern Wealth Builders. So I am a financial advisor and planner that specializes in small business owners and athletes that are pursuing NIL contracts.
And that's what we're really going to focus on today. Is a special focus. It's unusual. I've worked alongside many financial advisors and never met one like Jessica. So I wanted her to join us today for that purpose. So tell me, Jessica, what do you love most about the work that you do?
Oh gosh. The thing I love most is seeing clients feel confident about their finances, whether they're super interested in their finances or not. Finances can really bog people down emotionally and to the point where they avoid them or completely mishandle them. So what I love is providing a clear pathway and empowering them to make really great financial decisions that set them up for the rest of their life.
Yeah, and tell me about how that belief and your raison d'etre applies to this special niche. My understanding, just from conversations we've had prior to today, is you really do have a special heart for these young kids, essentially, who are getting these wonderful opportunities and haven't necessarily even had an education in finance at all. Not even generally what finance is, but their personal finances. So why don't you speak a little bit more to that?
Yeah, Dad was a former football player. He graduated from Troy. He was a defensive tackle. So when I saw what he explained to me, all of the nuances of being recruited and everything like that, it really just always sparked my interest. We are a football family, so it's always been a part of our household. In 2021, once the NIL money became available for students, I just loved the opportunity where they don't have to go to the league, to a professional league, to have life-changing finances. So you don't really understand finances unless you're taught it. It's not something that someone is just inherently good at. You're taught it and you learn it. And so I love to share financial literacy and really help them understand it's not something that you're either good or bad at. We're just going to learn how to do it and go from there.
Yeah, and it seems like your ideal client is these young athletes who are getting these extraordinary opportunities.
They are.
Walk us through how you come to find them. How do you show up in their world?
So we're at Step by Step Sports Training Facility. Coach Elle and I have known each other for years. Both went to Hueytown. We worked together in Bessemer Polo outlet very long
Wow.
time.
Little retail behind
Yes.
Okay.
So once he had students that had these opportunities available to them, I wanted to make sure that they had the good education so that there were not a lot of my peers will kind of roll their eyes when they see student athletes with large sums of money because they think they're just going to automatically blow it. Well, not if we educate them. So that's where there's this need where we need to provide financial literacy and a good ways for them to build their finances. So I really believe in being fee only. So I don't charge any commissions. I am just based on either a monthly plan fee or AUM. So I really wanted to show the kids that I'm always going to look out for your best interest. I always want to provide financial literacy first, so that even if for some reason you don't work with me, you know that you've got a good foundation and you know how to find a good financial advisor that clicks with you and fits your personality, that sort of thing.
And I think what's helpful, and I want to just help our viewers understand who I'm not in the world of finance.
Yeah.
AUM means assets under management.
Yes.
So can you explain what that actually means for these kids?
Yes.
What's that number specifically?
So say someone had $100,000 that they wanted me to put in an investment portfolio. They would get charged on that $100,000, and it's 1.25%. That's my fee.
1.25%.
Yes, 1.25% fee. And there's breakdowns once their assets grow. We provide a discount. The assets under management just means the portfolio that I manage, the amount of money. That's the way that I get charged on a percentage of that.
Okay. And my background in the financial world, I was the head of marketing for a boutique financial firm for 3 years in Wellesley, Massachusetts. And what I think is also important to convey, and you can speak to this also, is at this point in the conversation, people don't understand, I think, the general public, and not by any fault of their own. There are very different types and classifications to financial advisors. So Jessica is the 1% of financial advisors, not because she makes so much money,
No.
but there are only 1% of all the financial advisors in the United States is a qualified registered investment advisor, that she do what's in the best interest of her clients. She has a legal obligation to only do and help her clients be placed in the right investment components for them. So because she's not commission based, she has no allegiance essentially to any particular investment type per se. She only can do what's in the best interest. So it's the same standard. This is, I think, the best way for people to understand.
Yeah.
It is the same standard as a doctor or a lawyer, regardless of what their beliefs are or anything else. Her obligation is just like a doctor or a lawyer to absolutely only uphold and do what's in the best interest of her client based on what their goals are.
Yeah, and that's what I loved about when I was going through my education. I have a master's in financial planning. I wanted to study for the CFP, which is Certified Financial Planning, in a way that I felt was going to uphold that standard and really help the clients understand I always am going to look out for your best interests, even if it doesn't make me money. I would rather be able to sleep at night and have a firm that lasts beyond myself. And for the athletes, I went ahead and got an additional certification. It's called the Sports and Entertainers Accredited Wealth Management Advisor. So there's only one. Well, I'm the only female in Alabama that holds it.
Amazing.
And there's 6 other people. So there's
still not many.
Not many, but I am the one of 6 in Alabama that's a woman.
I think what's helpful too is tell us what the person you serve looks, feels, and struggles with. We know when they kind of come to in a time frame perspective, but who really benefits from working with you? Who can you truly help? What do they look like? I think there's even a certain media position on certain sports.
Yeah, so far I have worked with defensive tackles. I feel like it's a great way to honor my dad because that was his position too. It really helps when they're interested in wanting to grow their money. They're not interested in what the biggest deal can be, but how long it can last. So a lot of NFL deals have become multi-year contracts, and I feel like that's a great opportunity for the athletes to have some link to the growth of their money. And it really is amazing to see them benefit from something where they're sacrificing their time, their mental energy, their physical energy. I mean, they're at risk for getting hurt every play. So it's such a blessing for them to be able to have this opportunity and then have the interest of wanting to work with me and then building their money for the long term. As a 20-year-old, if we put money in their Roth account, it's amazing that we can see it 40 years of investment growth. Compounding interest is amazing to see over the span of 40 years. It's just such a wonderful opportunity to see these. This is like life-changing money. It's legacy building.
Yes.
It's like finest.
Yeah, and
So
it sounds like, again, when we first met, we kind of talked about this, but these are young kids that are a little bit wise beyond their years, and they want to not only see the money grow, but they want to take care of their people. So that means, what can they do to help their families?
Yes.
What does that look like if and when?
Yes.
Because they're not going to. If and when their money grows, what's possible, not just for themselves, they're more of a selfless position, and they have vision and discipline. So if they're disciplined in their role as an athlete, it sounds like they carry that same discipline into their financial vision as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had clients come to me with interests of buying houses for their mom or something like that. And really there's lots of opportunities where they want to fund their brothers and sisters to college. So we talk about college savings for their younger siblings and just being a blessing for the community around them. And it really, as an athlete that's receiving NIL money, they're automatically a business owner too. So we talk through that and ways to, does it make sense to employ somebody that's close to you to help with maybe social media or some kind of other personal assistant position where they're giving an opportunity to bless somebody by employing them. It's a ripple effect.
Dropping a pebble in a pond.
Yeah.
Because you're helping them determine the right place and the right timing to let the pebble go and have that impact.
Definitely.
In such a positive way. This one's going to change the world. I want to go off script a little bit because of the story you told me, and I want to make sure that that translates into your episode here.
Okay.
So, if you wouldn't mind, what happens when you're working alongside your clients? Because this girl will go to the gym with them. She's not just staying behind a desk. You're active with them.
Yes.
And they're inviting you into their world. So tell me more about maybe that experience you had.
I come to the gym really frequently so that they understand who I am and they just get a chance to chit chat with me to get to know me better. I was about to sign a client, and before the workout, or before we went over the contract, he said, "Well, come do this workout with me." So I have found about myself that I'm a little competitive. I was like, oh, I got you. So it was all of these very large defensive linemen and me. And I survived. But I didn't feel good for a week after that. But it was like, okay, now I'm ready to go over the contract. It was wild. It was a wild experience. But that really inspired me. He inspired me to really get more in shape, and as a result of that, I've lost like 35 pounds, gained a lot of muscle, so yeah, it's been fun, and I will not have someone put me out for a week again. If they ask me to work out, I'm going to survive. So it's going to be fun.
And I think that a great financial advisor like yourself, again, in this 1%, the pure fiduciary is essentially what you're known as. They do care. And if they're in it for a relationship over the long term, because your obligation, your duty to facilitate that growth is personal for them at the end of the day, because what's motivating them to allow that ripple effect to happen is care, consideration, and attentiveness to a relationship.
Yeah, it really is. The things that we talk about is not shared with everyone else. So you have to really be able to trust me on a deep level and know that I'm not going to share that with anyone else. And so everything that we talk about, that's something that puts the whole picture together. So even nuances of relationships of people that are close to you, it may be beneficial for me to know, so that if something comes along and we say, okay, well, let's talk through that and see what the best avenue to disperse that money or do something else with it.
Yeah, and to that point, tell me who your best partners are in the work that you do. It sounds like maybe estate planners or some attorneys, obviously coaches.
Yes, coaches.
Tell me what the benefits are when someone signs on with you. Not outside of let's do the financial planning,
Yeah.
but you have these relationships as well. So tell us more about your partners and how you can also contribute that to your relationship.
Yeah, so as a financial advisor, I really look at the whole picture. So we talk about insurance. We talk about traditional insurance and supplemental insurance, where it may be like disability. Is there an avenue where you're fearful of getting injured and needing an extra income, short term, something like that? Like you mentioned, not only estate planning attorneys, but contract attorneys. Yeah, because we want to make sure that the client, which would be the athlete, is protected in a way where they feel confident that we're looking out for them. And not only do I have a really high standard, the people that I have around me have really high standards too. So I'm very selective.
Yes, you should be.
Yes, because I want to make sure that it's not someone that is just looking to make a quick buck off of my clients and athletes. Like, I want them to look out for their best interests and make sure it's going to benefit them if there's a service or product that they may need.
And I think you mentioned one too was it a functional nutritionist of some sort?
Yes.
You really get to that point at the
Definitely.
granular level of who you're bringing in.
Yes, so we've got physical trainers that work close to a nutritionist. We've got someone that's a massage therapist. I mean, their bodies are their tools. So we have to make sure they're taking care of them for the long haul. And that includes the nutrition and the chef, because what we put into the body is going to make us feel fantastic or not. So we've got to really make sure you're taking care mentally too, and we've got access to a staff around, especially at Step by Step, has all been there. So they know if someone is having a bad day, they know how to talk through that. And if they're worried about a next step or what does it look like to get recruited, there's so many people around us that really have the access to, hey, I'm worried about something. Let's talk this out. And so that's really important too.
So tell me more about your work with Step by Step. I feel like we can dive a little bit more into that because
Yeah.
it's such a complementary, symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
And it sounds like what you just said about like the recruiting and that component and that part of their timeline, the athlete's timeline, is where Step by Step comes in.
A lot of times I'll meet athletes that are here at Step by Step, and they train as young as 5 all the way up to adults. I work out here myself, but when the athletes start to see attention from different schools, like reach out to them, the first place they ask is the one person they can trust, which is usually Coach L, and that's going to be like, hey, this coach just reached out to me, what do we do? And so he helps them navigate that, and when it's time for them to actually get a contract signed and money starts coming in, and then the deer in headlights comes in, that's when he says, hey, let's have a talk with Jessica. She can explain everything. And I'll also do classes here. So when there's large groups, especially we've got like large classes graduating, I'll come in and I'll do a financial literacy class and just help them, whether they play or not. It's really foundational for your next step in college or when you go to work. This is stuff that you need to know about. Whether at 18 years old, if you could start investing, whether it be a retirement account or just a regular investment account, just beyond the spending that you have, is so important to start young. It's just like working out. It's a habit that you have to do a little bit at a time, and you build up that muscle to save and invest, and it really benefits you in the long run.
Do you have any particular sports that you focus on, or is it any kid that's getting approached for? Is it soccer, football, basketball? Is it all of them, or is it
Yeah, we have seen, just because of where I am. We are in Alabama. Football is a little bit of king here. I am definitely agnostic. There's all sports that I'll work with. My niece is going through the recruiting process for soccer, so we've talked through that, which has been fun. But yeah, football has just been the main thing because it's the main thing here.
And I noticed I was on an assignment for baseball, which was interesting. And this was not high school kids going to college. It's 8th graders.
Yeah, it
and
starts so
these, I don't know, like incubators essentially, like camps. And I'm like, wow, you've got this young, smaller kid all the way up to, going to college and trying to get senior recruiters. And the system that's around them, the business of that is substantial. And I could easily see myself as a parent. Now, I don't have kids in any kind of collegiate sport. daughters, not that they shouldn't be, but one is all about her computer and she's not, one was tennis but wasn't going to track herself through any kind of sport program in college. However, as a parent, and when I was on the field and I was photographing this event, I'm a switch hitter, so I also am a professional photographer and help create content there. I was just watching these parents camped out for 3 days, and I think there's so much to that on the parent side, so I don't know if that's something else that you give guidance, like not only to these kids, but I'd say, hey parent, mom, dad, I know this is a lot for you. Yeah. Here's some of the resources as well. Yeah. I don't know if you have that, but man, that's a thing.
Well, we want to make sure that the parents have a really healthy dose of financial literacy as well, because at the end of the day, the parents are so influential in the student's life, and they should be.
Right.
That's going to be their guiding light. So we want to make sure they feel comfortable with this larger sum of money that this child still is going to get. Young person, I don't like to say child very often, but this person, young person, is going to get 6 figures or more, and is the parent able to help support them in a way that feels good and that feels like a lasting legacy?
Yeah, and helps them make the best decision. Yeah. Because you are also an entrepreneur, and this is the Entrepreneurial Edge podcast, tell me something you've learned the hard way as an entrepreneur. Because you're new to entrepreneurship.
So it'll be 2 years 2 years this past July. So the biggest thing is that I didn't realize I would have to learn how to sell myself and speak about myself in a more concise way. I just thought, I've got the certifications, I've got the knowledge, people are just going to come to me. And that was like, no, that's not how that works.
Yeah, it's interesting you said that too. I have a couple of clients who said the same thing. And I just hung my shingle because I'm a specialist in this area, that they would just show up, and you know, that's one of the things that you and I talked about too, and that's the point of me hosting this platform, is a lot of times people come to me, prospects and clients alike, and they say, I'm really anxious about handing off my social media to somebody because it's not going to sound like me. And I kept hearing that over and over again. So I'm a solutions kind of girl. I'm not only a strategist, but what can we do to get momentum and track towards a goal? Like, I'm a long-term thinker. I'm always kind of at 30,000 feet saying, okay, well, what would help you get traction in your social media or marketing or email, whatever it is that you need to build your little marketing strategy out so that you feel like you're doing something that's going to get you traction that feels like you. And that's how this came to be today. This podcast was, there is no better person, I think, in the entrepreneurial world to speak about their business and their why than the owner-operator. And having a conversation with them and having that voice be behind everything that comes out on the other side of this podcast. You know, the episode, we're going to help you with building the actual social media strategy and hand it off to you. So all you have to do is run it. We're not posting it for you. Yeah. But it helps you get the reps in at the front, feel the thing, and do, it's like training meals. Like, we're giving you the bike with the training meals. For 30 days, you run your play, a recommended play. It's on you to do it. Okay. And in 30 days, you're like, I got this. I know my cadence. I know where I'm getting some traction. I know where I'm successful. I can now do this. And we take the training meals off, and you're ready. And of course, we're always here. I think that was the thing, too. There's so many entrepreneurs that I've spoken with over the past year and a half as this podcast has evolved and its format has transformed. But people just, you have to do the work. Like, being a business owner is not glamorous. It's hard. Yeah. And my goal is, when I come onto the scene, is to really help people just get freed up from working in the business to working back on it, so you stay in your sweet spot and you can be there wholly for your clients, and let us take care of some of the marketing and the strategy. Yeah. It's not like we have to be there every day, but just laying the foundation of strategy so that you feel like when you are doing things at that time and what you've allotted to contributing and doing your marketing, because you're still going to have to do it, that it's much more actionable, you get more results, and it's not such a heavy lift. Yeah. So we want to leave you a little bit from that, because you still have to do it.
No, and
everybody knows that. You don't
right.
just hang the shingle and people show up. Like, people the way to get these people to show up is to do the marketing. No business can exist without it. So we're hoping to solve that problem. What's the big vision or the impact you ultimately want to have through your work?
Wow, I love that question. This is something that I would love to eventually have multiple advisors under my practice and maybe have like a specialty advisor per sport so that it can last beyond myself. My son's 9, but he jokes that he's gonna get in the business one day. I'm like, you go, little financial advisor. But it's something that I would love to see, especially as NIL grows. It's not going away, and people have a lot of big opinions about it. But I love it. I love that this is the opportunity for athletes to get paid, and as they have committed themselves, their time, their efforts to a sport that they've loved and done for, close to a decade or more at the time they graduate high school, this is something that they get a reward for, and we want to help empower them for beyond their professional or college level. They have all of this build up where they want to go and play college or they want to go and play pro. And that may be cut short sooner than they'd like. And then what's next? You have this drop off. And I want to make sure they're empowered to the next step that's beyond their sport, where they feel like, okay, I may be going through something emotionally, but financially we've at least got a plan to where I can take care of X, Y, Z. And it may take a minute for me to figure out my next passion, but I have a path forward. And that's what I want to see for my clients. That's what I want to see for a company. I just want it to grow something beyond me.
Well, I think that is a very honorable vision, and I can see that actually easily happening for you in the coming years.
Oh, thank you.
Well, how can people find you if they want to follow up and they might have a kid or there's a kid listening to this that's kind of intrigued by what you're doing and might need someone like you?
SouthernWealthBuilders.com is a great website. I'm also active on LinkedIn, Instagram. LinkedIn is Jessica Cassidy McDonald. And you can call my cell. If you need to call my cell, that's totally cool too. I want to be really accessible so that there's just a random question that a mom or a student feels like they need somebody to talk through, that I'm available to do that.
You're a good counsel.
I hope so.
And I have a question too. I think there might be some curiosity depending on when people listen to this, but is there a place where people can go to see what classes you're offering and when right now, or is that coming soon?
That's going to be coming soon.
Okay.
Yeah. If you just reach out to me and say, there are schedules that have passed. I'm happy if there's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 that want to have a class here on Saturday or something like that. I'm happy to drop an impromptu session in so that, especially with signing day coming up, there's an early signing day in December and there's a later signing day in February. So it's a really important time right now to really understand what contracts you're getting into, what kind of commitment you're making, and what the next steps are going to be.
And it sounds like if there's any coaches out there or teachers or school administrators listening, this would be a great time for them to reach out to you.
Yes, I love going to high schools. I've spoken at a few in the past and just loved it because it's really fun to share financial literacy. It's for everyone. Financial literacy should be one of the bases as you become an adult, and that's not always seen. So unfortunately there's a lot of misinformation that can be out there. So I really like to provide a healthy, non-biased financial literacy foundation.
You're just a wonderful resource, and I'm so excited to see how this is going to play out for you. And we've got you, we've got your back. So if there's anything else that I think we should make a date for a year from now to do this again.
Oh yes, a little update. That would be so fun.
I totally think that would be great. Thank you, my friend. Reach out to her, and if you have any marketing strategy needs, something as simple as finding out what your perfect person looks like for your business, I am here to help. You can reach out to me. All of our contact information will be in the show notes and attached to this podcast episode, so you don't have to remember anything or anything down, especially if you're out there driving or walking.